some time ago when I was a pastor at St. Teresa of Avila, and we had opened our parish hall to bring the homeless in at nights as a shelter for them. One Sunday morning, we were having Mass, and one of the men who had stayed in the shelter was found kneeling outside the window of the church, kneeling on the grass and looking into the church. And when someone asked him, well, why are you here? What are you doing here? He said, well, I didn't think I could go in. There was a sense that he was carrying inside that he wasn't part of the community, that he wasn't worthy or somehow allowed to go in. This question is raised, on who is in and who is out. And the scriptures we hear today highlight that. So this long story we hear of St. Peter's vision and so on. It began with Cornelius, a Gentile, having a vision, calling him to investigate who is this Lord Jesus, who ultimately he finds out about. And when the Jewish Christians, remember the beginning community of Christians were Jewish. And so when they heard that Peter had gone into the home of a Gentile and defiled himself by doing that and sharing this good news, they're saying, why are you doing this? Those people shouldn't be in, right? They're not on the inside. We are. They have to follow our ways first. And then in the gospel today, we hear that phrase, Jesus talking about being the sheep, the shepherd, and saying, I have sheep of another fold too. To whom they also I am to minister. Who is in and who is out? Right now, we can feel out ourselves, right? Especially those who have not been able to come to church. Completely different reason. But we have a lady who comes almost every day and she prays in our courtyard and just looks up at the steeple and just longs for the time when we will be back together again in the church. That same longing is held by people who feel like the man kneeling outside who was homeless. I didn't think I could go in. This profound call that we have. How do we know we are connected to Jesus? God became flesh so that connection can happen. We ourselves are called to be that welcoming spirit also, and to remember we are connected as humankind, every human being. This Easter season is that time of mercy where all are in, should they choose, and where we follow the way of Christ by welcoming and opening our hearts and our minds.